President Joe Biden says he's got an executive order that will secure the southern border, but it won't. Coming up, we'll tell you why California's border with Mexico will be as open as ever. Plus, the results in the Temecula school board recall election. Are parents falling behind? Coming up, that and more. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and these are the stories we're following today in California. First and foremost, a lot of coverage has been made and provided on President Joe Biden's so-called border security executive order. He issued it yesterday, and some folks on the far left started clutching their pearls and, hooting and hollering, saying, "Oh, the horror, the horror." No, there is no real security in this executive order. It is nothing but window dressing. It's gaslighting, really. The border will be as insecure and open as ever. Here is the coverage from left-leaning Cal Matters. Quote, what Biden's border order means for California. Wendy Fry, who's their border reporter, who I think is Wendy. I know Wendy personally. She's a decent person, very good person, but oh man, she doesn't want a secure border, and her coverage reflects that. She says that the executive order, the new measures, would bring much needed order to the border, according to White House officials. And she basically is raising the question that people would be less likely to hire coyotes to take them across the border if they think that they will be turned back. But let's actually look at what's in the executive order from Joe Biden. And for that, we go to Federation for American Immigration Reform. By the way, if you don't know about FAIR, Federation for American Immigration Reform, you should. They're a phenomenal group fighting for border security, fighting against amnesty and sanctuary states and all the other nonsense that we've seen. Here it is, FAIR, Biden executive order will not secure the border. Basically what the order says, what Biden is saying is he's going to allow 2,500 encounters a day on average over a 7-day period before illegal immigrants can be asked to turn around and go back to Mexico. 2,500 times 365 is nearly 1 million. It's 900,000 people. Oh, by the way, in computing the 2,500 encounters, none of the gotaways is included in that estimate. And mind you, since Biden took office in the past 3.5 years, we've had over 2.5 million gotaways. None of those people would be counted towards this 2,500 person average 7-day rolling cap. Children would not be counted. Illegal immigrants entering through a port would not be counted as long as they use the magic words of yo soy persecado, I am seeking asylum because I'm a political refugee. They want a job, for God's sakes, or they want welfare, the handouts here in California. None of those illegal immigrants would be counted under the 2,500 person cap. So the media is lying to you when they say, oh, there'll be a 2,500 person cap, which means that we're going to let at least 2,500 people in per day. Oh, but we're not counting the gotaways. So what? Are they just, coming into the United States and then magically disappearing? No, that's part of the burden of illegal immigration. The gotaways should be included. Frankly, I don't even think there ought to be a cap. I think that we should just simply say, secure the border. There shouldn't be any discussion about, here's how much illegal immigration we're going to allow. We should have a secure border. There should be zero tolerance, no illegal immigration into our country. But that's not what the order does. The order is nothing but window dressing. We also do not have the Trump era policies being restored here. And those policies actually worked, empowering Border Patrol and supporting them to do their jobs, filling the vacant Border Patrol positions so we have a workforce to do the task necessary, working with the state National Guard of our border states to have a surge capacity. Cooperating with ICE on deportations, which California does not do because we're a sanctuary state. Stop incentivizing illegal immigration by giving free public welfare. California is doing that too, as we brought you the story just a few days ago, and this is actually getting a lot of now national coverage. Reform California blowing the whistle on an assembly bill that would allow illegal immigrants to get taxpayer-funded jobs in California state government, which, by the way, is a complete violation of federal law. As you know, employers are not allowed to knowingly hire illegal immigrants. It's a violation of federal law, and the managers who participate in this could be prosecuted under federal law, and the illegal immigrants are also put in legal jeopardy. So it doesn't help anyone. It's terrible on all counts. The executive order is nothing but an election year stunt to make people think that Biden wants a secure border when in fact it's open as ever. Do not believe the hype from the liberal media or these Democrat politicians. Let's switch gears. We've been obviously at Reform California recruiting school board candidates who will respect parents, give them a voice, give them a seat at the table, make sure that we don't have controversial curriculum in the classroom, make sure that our schools are focused back on basics. And this parent revolution that's happened nationwide and here in California has resulted in a number of key wins in school board races across the state. Reform California has a whole program to recruit, train, endorse, support school board candidates. Well, the left has now done their counterattack. They've decided to recall school board members that put parents at the table and push back against the left's corrosive and controversial politicized curriculum, inappropriate curriculum. In Temecula Unified School District, they replaced the superintendent and enacted a number of common sense reforms to clean up the curriculum. Joseph Komorowski is on the board, and he was the subject of a recall this week. The results are in. And with 35% turnout, the recall unofficially has qualified. It has succeeded, and he will be removed from office if these numbers hold. Now, there are still ballots outstanding, about 1,500 according to my sources as of about an hour ago. So these numbers could shift. And any ballot that was postmarked by yesterday will be able to be counted if it arrives in the next week. The reason why it may not be completely done and over, I think it is over because the trend is not great enough to overcome the deficit, is that last night, Komorowski, when the first numbers came up, he was losing by 55 to 45, about 750 votes short. But then, with each update, we saw a closing of the gap. That means that the late deciding voters decided against recall. And late deciding voters or late voters tend to be more conservative. They like to wait till the end. And so do I believe that this will tighten up? Yes. Right now, I believe the differential is 533 votes. So it could become a nail biter. I don't think, though, that there will be enough outstanding votes to tip the scales because he only made up about 250 votes. But we'll see. It's not official yet. But let me tell you what this means. We cannot just get people into office. We have to keep them in office. And we have to support them as they're doing the battle against the bureaucracy, against the special interests, the far left groups that come in and fund political assassination jobs against these reformers. This is not an easy fight. You can't just say, okay, we have to flip the seats. We have to continue to support these elected officials when they are targeted for things like recalls. When the left shows up with all of their hoot and hollering at the board meetings, we need to show up at these board meetings as well and support these elected officials. So a setback potentially in Temecula. This comes on the heels of a similar setback in Orange Unified School District. About 2 months ago, a recall there was successful in taking out two of their trustees who also stood on the side of parents. Look, We will have some progress and some steps back. But the journey must continue. The fight must continue to reform California schools so that our kids get the quality of education that they deserve. That means get the politics out of the classroom and get the parents back at the table. At Reform California, we're leading that fight, and we need your help. Do a few things. Go to our website, reformcalifornia.org. Click under the School Board Reform Campaign. And on that site, you can share the curriculum examples that we are fighting against. It's very, very controversial curriculum, so be careful. It's not for the faint of heart to look at this stuff. It contains explicit material. Join a parent coalition, and we will connect you with reformers in your area. Please make a contribution. We are entirely funded by the grassroots. We rely on you chipping in $5, $25, whatever you can. Make a contribution to the movement today. And if you're interested in running for office, we want to hear from you, because we do train, endorse, and support candidates for all sorts of offices, including our priority school board races up and down the state of California. Share this video, like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.